and welcome to this special edition of the Global Premier Football Podcast and Show. It's been another day where we have stuff going on in football. That's why this game takes you up there, it brings you so low. And today we're going to talk about Chelsea Football Club, our dear football club. And it's unfortunate what has happened to some who see it as an unfortunate thing. To some others, they see it as something that needs to happen for the good of Chelsea. And we have different ideas and views, but today we're going to look into it to see was this the right move for Chelsea? Yes, this move has happened. And sometimes I feel we could take back the hands of time and bring back Tuchel. Sometimes I feel we should do that, But Victor here on the call on this show is laughing or smiling because he thinks I'm very happy that Tuchel was fired. Guys, believe you me, right since morning until now, I think I've felt better. Honestly, I have not felt like watching football. And today my day has actually been messed up a little bit with this news. But let's get into it right away. With me is Ugo and Victor to discuss Chelsea, the firing of Tuchel, and the potential incoming manager. What are Chelsea's options? Guys, what do you think happened? I mean, there's a lot in the news about Tuchel being fired. Can you guys throw a little bit of light into what you feel or what you know? Victor.
I'm gonna tell Ugo a secret. Now we had a conversation. We had a conversation last evening, right? And when you kept pushing about the tactics, I said fire him, and you can hire Pochettino if that's the best way to go forward. Now I know the season has started very roughly, right? We spoke about it. There are so many factors in my view that may have contributed to this, especially when the decision to fire the manager wasn't because of the results of the Champions League game. So for you to fire the manager and already have a replacement lined up, they contacted Brighton immediately for permission to speak with your manager, right? Which means this has been in the works for a while. Mm-hmm. But according to different reports, they said
hold on. What is the secret? You've not told him anything yet.
Yes, the secret is you are okay if we fire Tuchel. You did not.
He's happy, right?
When I say fire Tuchel, you said you actually. I'm not sure what your response was, but you weren't against the idea of letting him go. Oh, actually, you said. Let me say that. You said, well, players don't get fired when the result is not going well. The manager's a scapegoat, right?
But that's the natural thing. It's the natural thing in the game. I don't know why is it that players will always. I spoke to my sister today about it, and she was telling me that the husband said, that's a normal thing in football. And I gave an instance. It's like, for example, for those who read the Bible, Jesus, when he was given the parable of the 100 sheep and one went astray, and then 99, he left 99 and went for one to find the one. Now in football, if one is going astray, and which is mainly the manager, they fire the manager and keep the 99, which is the rest of the players. So this is what is common in football, and that is why I said, I will not take Pochettino ahead of Tuchel. I will not even take Zidane ahead of Tuchel, because I don't know how Zidane is going to cope with the tactical masterclass of the Premier League in terms of challenging Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, even Mikel Arteta, and Antonio Conte. These are the main challengers for Chelsea in the top part of the table. But anyway, go ahead, because I'm not going to allow you to just make false accusations.
No, it's not false accusation. You were not against him being fired. My question is this: it might come at any point in time. Again, it's the nature of the game. We understand that, right? But 6 games into the season, 1-3, draw 2, lost 1. Is that enough to fire manager. And that's number one. Number two, there was disagreement. Oh, sign Ronaldo. I don't want Ronaldo. Right now, Toboli, according to report, already met with Mendes. Immediately he bought the club. He met with Mendes. He wanted someone, like a marquee signing, right, to announce the fact that I am in charge of Chelsea now. But the manager doesn't want it to happen. That's why Ronaldo wanted to leave Manchester United. No other club wanted Ronaldo. That's a fact. But Bowley had convinced his camp, we can make this happen, except the manager disagree. Now, we spoke about the players that he has signed, right, so far. What I'm thinking is this. If you get in Graham Potter in because you feel the team might be in jeopardy of getting top four, right, or winning trophies.
Yes.
And you fire Thomas Tuchel, a man who got us to 6 finals in 1.5 years, won 3 trophies, right? Finished top 4 both seasons, right? If you fire that man because you're worried about the club declining, what guarantee do you have that Graham Potter will get into top 4? It doesn't make any sense. For me, it's a downgrade. As much as I love Graham Potter, and I always tell you about Graham Potter, is a proper football manager, we understand. But at this level, we are talking about manager. He's going to be meeting players that have made money that Graham Potter himself have never seen in his life. Yes. We are talking about players who have won trophy, and you're coming without what's on your CV. So what control do you think you can have in that team? It's the same problem with Aubameyang and Arteta. It wasn't because Aubameyang wasn't performing, right? There was just breakdown in communication. He doesn't care about Arteta, right? And when that happened, the dressing room is in disarray, because when a top player, let's say, for example, Aspie, maybe you drop Aspie too many times, right? Or you drop Chilwell too many times, right? They start to feel like, oh, this manager doesn't favor me. He doesn't want me. And we're talking about top players. So how do you manage that dressing room if you're Graham Potter?
I mean, before we go to the potential incoming manager, because it's like it's almost certain that it will be Graham Potter that, will be coming in to be the next Chelsea boss. He said, unfortunately. I mean, so let's look at Thomas Tuchel. Okay, Thomas we know his personality. We know what he brings to a club. And I mean, I was looking at his statistics, 100 games, 60 wins, 24 draws, and 16 losses, 168 goals scored, 77 goals conceded. That's not a poor result. That is not even an average result. That is an above average.
Actually, 50 of those goals conceded were in the second 50 games that he played. And the first 50 games, we were talking about 25 goals.
Yes. So, I mean, so let's look at it this way. I was just playing this interview that he had with Sky Sports at the beginning of the year after, Todd Boehly bought the club. And from what I got from that interview, it means that there was a void that needed to be filled. And when you were talking about director of football, at some point, which for me, Chelsea needs a director of football. I think we cannot have the owners making these type of decisions. I think it's not good for a club, a football club, because in that interview he said they have never owned a football club before. Yes, they have a Major League Baseball team, but that's not football. That's not a football club. So, do you think, Ugo, you're free to jump in here, because I need to hear your own perspective of what you feel about Thomas Tuchel's sacking. I personally was very upset, not because that I wanted him to go. I was not happy with the results. I was not happy with players playing out of position. There were not few things that I was not happy about. Victor will always counter me on that, but I say, seeing the personnel we have, we don't have the personnel to play. We have the center backs, yes, but we don't have the midfielders, and the wing
No.
backs to play in that formation that he was playing. I remember when, and also the forward players, the strikers. I remember when we had Antonio Conte in his first season. He played a 4-2-3-1, and then we lost to Arsenal. Was it against Arsenal that we lost?
They battered us. Yeah.
They battered us. And then he just switched. The next time he just switched to a back three.
And it was my boy Victor Moses.
And Victor Moses, and then you have the tormentor in chief in the front, Diego Costa, who is actually back to the Premier League again with Wolves. So we had the personnel. We had Fabregas. Now I was only thinking it was only Fabregas that throws those long range passes, to find Diego Costa, who makes those forward runs. Don't forget we had David Luiz.
David Luiz was doing the same. Yeah.
David Luiz, he could throw those 50-yard passes. We have only Thiago Silva, rather, who does it, but not consistently like David Luiz would do it. We don't have any shooters anymore. Yes, you go.
You see, the thing is that you're talking about Thiago Silva being like a youngster. Let's remember, he's 36, 37 years old.
That's the thing. So we don't even have that.
There's one more year possibly on his contract. We don't know if he's going to be extending. The age is a factor now. You see, you're talking about key players like that, in comparison. David Luiz versus Thiago Silva, Diego Costa, and, in first games of Lukaku, for example, back in the previous, season. Yeah, we do have key players. Let's take, we got N'Golo Kante, where he's injured, right? Who's the replacement for him? He's the key for Chelsea's mid. We got Kovacic and we got other couple players, but like you said, there's certain players that's that could be good, but we don't have the best. They're not in the potential that they should be. On the back, I think the best thing that we have on Chelsea is the back. We got really good Reece James. He's been doing really good, but injuries is they are he's getting a lot of injuries. I don't know. We got Spiriqueta as well. He's also old. We got some of the key players that are getting old, and the youngsters. They need to push up. Pulisic, he's not doing anything on the team. I don't know if you saw that game yesterday.
Yeah.
What did he do? Just came into consume time. That he didn't do anything on the game.
That was why. I mean, Victor, remember I said, and I don't know.
I don't want to remember anything you said, but Ugo just told you exactly what I said, right?
But I said, okay, the window has closed.
No, before this conversation, hold on, Chidi. This conversation we had was before the season ended. I said, if Kante is available, this team is fine. Nobody will ever notice that we have a problem. But because this guy's going to be here, and I told you we will be playing 2 games every week because of the World Cup, Kante will be out for about maybe 6 weeks. Imagine the numbers of games we have to play with that, that power in the midfield. We need to get a replacement this window before the window closes. I spoke with you about that. And you say, oh, we can always use Chalobah. We can always use this player. No. And I said, it's not going to work. Now, the final hour of the window, they signed Zakaria because the club realized this is something they cannot risk. You cannot go into the season without a counter replacement. You must be stupid. My only, how do I put it? I was upset. It's got a chance to play Aubameyang for a few minutes, right? He's never tried Zakaria in the midfield. He hasn't got it. He hasn't got a chance to play at all. And you find the manager. So what I concluded at is, if you want Graham Potter to come in and you want to sign Sterling, do you think Sterling would join Chelsea with Graham Potter as the manager?
No, absolutely no.
Do you think Aubameyang will come to Chelsea?
No.
With Graham Potter. So if you look at
maybe yes, maybe no.
Aubameyang, there's no chance. The reason why Aubameyang came is because of Tuchel. Maybe Sterling can sign. Fofana, if the money is good, of course, perhaps is going to join. But to get Koulibaly and Sterling to Chelsea, to play under Graham Potter? It's a no. So in my head, they just use Tuchel as a football guy. They fire everyone at the club. Peter Cech was instrumental even for Mendy. Look at Mendy now. Look how he looks like a shadow of himself. He's up. I mean, he's almost making mistake every game, right? So all the entire support system at the top, the people who understand football, these guys came in. They fired them, and you're jumping on the jet, negotiating high contracts, paying overboard, right? Signing player for 6 years. So what if it doesn't work out like Kepa? You're gonna be stuck with players on over 200K a week for 6 years.
Yeah.
Well, it's their money
I
going
mean,
down the drain.
So you kept Tuchel to sign all those big names, and then you fired Tuchel.
Yeah, we'll go. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say Kepa, that's a perfect example. I mean, personally, I love Kepa. I think he has made some really big mistakes, but he's really good. I love Kepa. I
He's a decent
love watching
goalkeeper.
Kepa. Yeah, it's a goalkeeper. I
I
love him.
mean,
He has some really bad. He has had really bad times at Chelsea, right?
but I think
I don't think he was worth that
too.
money though.
He was not worth the money. No, he was not worth the money. But I think, I mean, after Neymar went to PSG for the amount he went to PSG,
Everything went to shit.
I concluded that every average player will be a
Will be
multi-million.
over 50 million. I mean, what does 50 million get you now?
Okay. Harry Maguire.
He's even more expensive than 50 million now. I mean, so
Wow.
I think I don't want to say this in camera. I think I said it before. You guys said I should not mention it, but that which I said before, I think
who's making the decision?
I'll say it for you. Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chidi, so you don't have to say. It's the American way.
No, I am not. Today has been wrecked for me in terms of trying to enjoy watching football again. Yes, we had a poor game yesterday, and as you said, and the news and it's in out there in the media. It's not because of that game. It's because of something that has been building up. Some say that the players, lost confidence in him and was not trusting him again. Some say that personal issues, family issues that he had, was also. And I think also that is also one of the things, because you look at Tuchel this season, he looks exhausted. And also he carried Chelsea throughout the time we were in hot water.
It's been loyal. It's been loyal to Chelsea. Yeah, he's been loyal to Chelsea. Now, I think he went through a divorce last season. I'm not sure how true that is. Now, after the game that was lost against Leeds, Ziyech got on the plane because I think he's managing his own self now, right? So he got on the plane, went to Dutch, right? Want to sign a deal with Ajax. So he was trying to see maybe it could be the replacement for their player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he came back after that game. We played Southampton. It is now the understanding now that a player wants to leave. Pulisic, Ziyech, Osuna-Doi, they want to leave the club. All three of them, except Todd Bowley blocked the exit of Pulisic because of the commercial, whatever value.
Yes.
And Ziyech. Those two players will have left. Pulisic on loan, Ziyech to the Dutch league. Yeah, but he blocked those two moves. Now, if you remember Southampton game, he plays here for 90 minutes. It was proven a point to the owner. You want to keep this guy? I put him on the field. Let's see what he can do.
Nothing.
And it was absolute rubbish. And yesterday, you see that second free kick, 97 minutes. James was telling Ziyech, let me take it. You took the last one.
And he did it twice.
Yes, and he did not let him take that free kick. And when he kicked it after the wall. So you have arrogant, egocentric players that they think they are bigger than they are. Pulisic is a decent talent.
He's an average player for me,
But they
man.
have great players, but in
Since,
their
since
head,
he left, since he left Borussia
Big
Dortmund,
egos.
he did not even make any. He did not do anything in Borussia Dortmund. He came to Chelsea
we
injured.
signed a prospect. We signed a prospect open. I mean, those were the signing I'm talking about. So when Pep came in, Pep went 2-3 goalkeepers, right? From Joe Hart to the guy from Costa Rica, was it or Chile?
Chile, yeah,
Chile.
Chile.
And then
yeah.
from that guy, he
Bravo.
went to the 50 million goalkeeper, right? So it's cycle 2-3 goalkeeper. The entire defense line is changes. The entire midfield gone. The entire attack gone, right? This is the first time Tuchel will have a chance to build a team. Lukaku was a club signing, right?
Hold on. The difference is that American money and oil money, they are not the same.
But the same thing happened at Liverpool. They allow Klopp to change the team gradually over a period of 2.5, 3 seasons, right?
I think they trusted him more.
So why can't we put a trust in this guy?
I don't know.
So what do we have to lose if it got top 4? We won Champions League because of Tuchel, not because of the team.
Yes.
We won the previous Champions League because of the players, not because of Di Matteo.
Yes.
It's so if Lampard was in charge of that team the year we fired him, there was we had no chance of beating City. It wouldn't happen, right? So
we will not even got to the
finals. Yeah. So you fire a manager that got 2 different teams to back-to-back finals. The manager was won 3 out of 6 finals and got top 4 twice. And you bring in Graham Potter to do what? So my thinking is this is a project which will become like an Arsenal now. Don't expect trophies. We just play.
And that's a sad thing.
Look at Manchester United, the same American owners.
Graham Potter, I mean, like you said before, how he's going to deal, like you were talking about CH, right? Where, if he was trying to leave the team, Tuchel played him for 90 minutes. He didn't do anything. He played Champions League. He didn't do anything.
It was the most embarrassing substitution yesterday.
Exactly. So let's take an example. Take him as an example, right? Where he's the big ego. What is Graham Potter's going to do with that ego? How is he going to be able to control that? I mean, to a certain point, it was like Ronaldo joining. Well, not Ronaldo. I don't know who's the biggest ego. Neymar joining PSG, where Neymar was the biggest star. He was like, everybody saw the news. He was going clubbing. He was getting wasted as much as he could do, getting injured and then partying after getting injured, right? That was a big ego. Pochettino was barely able to control that, with Mbappe on the side.
Pochettino didn't do anything in PSG. Definitely, he did not do anything. But
he was barely able to control those egos. You cannot, Graham Potter coming in, he cannot do that. Like Victor said, unfortunately, Chelsea will probably be, if everything is looking as what I'm looking at, maybe we're gonna be top 10. Maybe. If we're lucky enough.
I'm gonna cry.
I don't think we're gonna play Champions League next year. That's my, and that's gonna
be. Vic, remember I said this. Vic, remember I said this. You need, yes, we have signed these players. I mean, I'm not trying to take this on the manager that has gone, because I really liked his approach, his style of play and everything. But I have watched Tuchel's teams. Why did we kept playing back 3? Was he playing back 3 in PSG? No. Was he playing back 3 in Borussia Dortmund? No. Why did we continue playing back 3? Since almost all the players that played in that last winning team that we had, that won the Premier League with Antonio Conte, almost all of them have gone except Aspi. Why did we
this season?
This season. Why did we continue playing back 3? Why didn't he work out a system of play that he was comfortable with? Because I don't think that he was comfortable with playing a back 3. The issue is not the 3 center backs. The issue is the midfielders and the attackers. You saw the game yesterday. You saw the game against Leeds, against Southampton, against Everton, against West Ham. passively pass the ball here and there, here and there, here and there. Nothing. Because why? Because I don't see him as someone who
Right.
knew the
All right.
ins and outs of a back three compared to Antonio Conte.
No, that's not
That's
the
what I
point.
think.
See, when it came to a team, the last time the team was successful, right? Tuchel was largely more successful than Conte was more successful than Sarri. Sarri got lucky with Hazard. Fine. He
Yes.
won the Europa League. Now, but the team underperformed in the league. So what Tuchel simply did was, when I come in as a new Chelsea manager, we had 5 straight wins when Tuchel came in the Champions League. 0 goal conceded. That same back 5 that we're criticizing right now. It got result.
Yes.
Again, I think we've mentioned it before. It's because of the profile of the player. Let me give you an
Okay.
example. If
Yeah.
you play a back 4 in the Premier League and you play, let's say, Koulibaly right now and Thiago Silva, what is their recovery pace? Look at the goal yesterday, right? Koulibaly came in to head the ball away, right? And the other
Okay.
player just flicked it, and it was down to the race. Fofana couldn't catch up. Do you think Thiago Silva can run as much as Fofana did yesterday?
He will not. But what I'm saying is this:
He just kept the same. He kept that formation
we
for the
played a high
safety of
line.
the team.
Yes.
Simple.
But not. Yes. But the profile of the players are not fitting into this system. That is what I am saying. And remember, Liverpool right now is suffering a, like, what's that they use in economics of something return. I can't remember.
Diminishing return.
Diminishing return. Yes, thank you very much. That these players keep going back and forth. They are not machines. They are human beings, and the human body tears and wears down. No matter how much you believe, what sports science can do for you. Yes, the recovery, but the body is also aging. Now, Thiago Silva cannot make that run, but you can play compact back 4. Man City plays a back 4. Liverpool plays a back 4. Man City, Tottenham plays a back 3. Fine. Brighton plays a back 3. Maybe that's why they are going for Graham Potter. Maybe, I don't know. They play back 3. But how long can that team continue? Because you need a cycle.
PSG is playing back 3 right now.
Okay, now they are doing it right now.
They start from the beginning of the season. That's information because they have a new manager. Again, there's no rule that says you have to play for the back, right?
I know.
Whatever suits your team. Do I think I'm going to have more stability playing Marquinhos, playing Ramos, right? And the defense line, I'm looking at Ramos' age. The same thing at Chelsea. Do I think Alonso is a perfect defender? No. Okay, so when I come in, how do I help Alonso? How do I help Rudiger? Rudiger became a rock-solid defender in this same formation.
Yes, he became. Anyway, let's.
It works. And if you think Graham Potter is going to come in and go to back 4, it's not going to happen.
No, he's not. He's not. He's playing that because that's what he has been playing with Brighton. That's what he's been playing with Brighton. So.
No, we're talking about Graham Potter is a for sure thing, right? We're not even sure about that. I mean, that's the news right now.
He's the one that the club has reached out to.
It's his job to lose. They haven't caught Pochettino, according to reports.
I don't want Pochettino in Chelsea.
Any manager right now is a downgrade. Even if you get him Zidane, it's a downgrade.
Exactly. I mean,
Premier League football is so different. You need time. What would be your expectation now for Graham Potter? What is like, fantastic season?
I mean, I don't know. It's honestly, I'm just losing the taste for the league. I'm just waiting for the World Cup to happen so that maybe I can refresh my taste, and delight in watching football again. Because what is happening and what has just happened in Chelsea, and like if I asked you guys before, is there a panic? Is there an office, a room for a panic where there's a panic button and people just go in and they hit it, and then, everyone is agitating and stuff is happening? Why is it that? How long can Chelsea keep going like this?
Now, I got a question for you guys. Now that you mentioned the World Cup coming up, now, do you think that's another reason though, where yes, the players are going to be extra agitated because now we're not talking about Premier League. We're talking about Champions League games too as well. They're not going to be, every other week, but there's still a lot of games. We're talking about in a month for a player, we're talking maybe 10 games,
More.
possibly, maybe a little bit more than that. That's a really exhausting for a player. Then November comes and then you need to play that's even at a better level for your national team if you get called up, right? So on that end, we should have, and we should have brought new signings so we can rotate the team, for and have a really, for solid team. That's what should have happened. We're talking in the past, right? But now looking at the future, like you say, yes, maybe if we look at, for a little more forward, Chelsea, I think, like I said before, he's gonna be number 10, and maybe we're gonna be possibly jumping to Europa League if we get lucky enough. But I mean, World Cup itself, I think, this
Ugo's
particular
gonna make
World
me
Cup
cry.
is the issue. It's the biggest issue right now.
I
Moving,
I
to December instead of the summer.
I am very, very upset about Tuchel being signed, even though Victor thinks otherwise. But personally, I was not happy that he was fired. Seeing all that he has achieved and how he carried the club throughout the crisis of the club, and I think also it shows how ruthless and heartless some owners could be. This is my opinion on employees in a
There's a
club
rumor that
in a
he
football
came to the
club.
club. There's a rumor that he came to the club and there was nobody there. And pretty much it was a 10-minute phone call saying, you know what, you're fired. Another 10 minutes just to pack your stuff and go. We're talking about maybe like a 30-minute day, and especially to a person that came in, fixed the team, got you a Champions League, became top four in the in the Premier League. That's really tough. That's a really bad way to take out a.
That's why I said
It was not the right
that
way.
they're owners that are ruthless. I mean, I don't know if that's the way the rich
Yeah,
do
but
stuff or
it wasn't a
something.
knee jerk reaction. Again, the results so far in the league, considering we are above Liverpool. And we're about how many points? 5 points, 6 points from the top from Man City.
It's not much. It's Arsenal.
Yeah, so everyone has dropped point this season. Even the
Everyone,
mighty City dropped point.
everyone.
So it's not gonna be. You cannot win every football game. You have to understand that. But again, that's what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with Tuchel's performance.
I think
Again,
it's the
I think that
players or something
I
again.
think it's because I had a rumor like I think it was before the West Ham game that the owner invited Aspilicueta to a dinner. They want to ask him why strikers in Chelsea kept failing, right? So that was the idea of the dinner. But in my opinion, if you're meeting with the owner, which is something weird, right? It's it's more than me needing your opinion about how a striker should play. It's not your position.
It's not your
So
position.
that
That's
doesn't make
that's
any
that's
sense.
that's one thing. So I've been in a situation where club owners or hierarchy, instead of meeting with the coach to ask the coach, how can we get this thing sorted out? They meet with players. Do the players run the training sessions? Do the players plan the training sessions? The players, their job is to come play and then go. Their job is to go on the field and do their job.
It's if you
And
remember.
I think it's just lack of respect for Tuchel. That's pretty much
Oh,
it.
by the way, on Talksport, the intermediary between Rudiger and the club and Chelsea said Chelsea did not make any effort to keep Rudiger. He wanted a 10 million sign-on fee, which they will spread on his wages across 4 years, maybe extra 40,000 a week
Hmm.
more, right? Now, that was the offer on the table. But the club, instead of the club to try to counter the offer, they did not. They just left his counter offer on the table. Now, the same thing with Christensen, right? He already agreed a deal. Then his father changed his mind. Barcelona can pay you more sign-on fee, blah, 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 blah. Chelsea could counter all of those offers. And that wasn't a bad thing. according to him, when he spoke with Bali, he said, "Oh, this previous regime cost you a lot of money," and Bali told him more than 100 million. Because by the time they came into Chelsea, Chelsea had no single defender lineup apart from Kunde. And by statistics, Kunde is now the right replacement for either Christensen or Rudiger.
Yeah.
So the idea of signing Kunde was dropped immediately. Boli didn't want it. Because again, since they don't know about football, they rely so much on data. And their data says otherwise. That's not the player you're looking for. So they were frustrated. And they blame Tuchel in part. Because if you're a manager and you want to keep a player, right, you will do everything you can.
Everything to keep
And even
the
if you
player.
cannot keep that player, at least you have a perfect replacement lined up.
Yes.
So they failed on both parts.
I think we
Well,
had
in regards to, sorry, Chidi, but in regards to Rudiger, I mean, that was specifically on that time where Chelsea couldn't make any economic decisions because
No, but
they
they
were
left the
blocked.
deal on the table since January. I mean, they had time
before the sanctions
before
came
the
in.
sanction came. They
When
just
did the
didn't talk
sanctions
about
start?
it.
Like in February, didn't it? Like March,
It
February?
was beginning of
Around
March, I think. Yeah.
I think one of the things that, I don't want to blame Tuchel for anything because I don't know if his hand was in all these things, is that after Todd Boehly took over, I think we were not moving swiftly in signing or negotiating players or to sign some of the players that we have right now. So we were making late moves. And I think that also affects a manager's preparation for the season. Watch our preseason. Our preseason was horrifying. It was terrible to watch. I mean, I remember, Victor, you mentioned that, you said something, and I quote, "You're going to see N'Golo Kante is going to play against Udinese and we'll think that everything is fine." And that was what happened. He played against Udinese. We
Because he's a
won.
Superman.
And then that's it. And we think all is fine again. And there's no replacement. There is no, even if to tweak the approach to the game, because N'Golo Kante will not be there all the
Our
time.
best game this season remains Spurs. The Kante ran into the ground. He ran
and that is
himself
why he will
into the
keep
ground.
getting injured. And that's why he will keep getting injured. And at the end of the day, we'll ship him out or we'll not give him a contract because we don't have anyone to back him up, anyone to play for him when for him to fully recover. Because we don't allow Kante to fully recover and go again. Anyway, guys, now the next question to wrap up with this. There were 3 people who have been mentioned.
Yeah.
And there is one who is resounding everywhere. Even I've seen, Chelsea fans that have been interviewed back there in London, everyone will, after expressing how shocking the decision was, how upset they were or they are, the next name that comes out of their mouth is Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Now we've talked a little bit about him. Your final words. We all believe that any manager coming is it's a downgrade, but we can't go without a manager, right? We can't go without a manager. What is the best approach now for Chelsea? Does our goal for the season change after 6 games?
Good question.
Now, in that question will come to play as well. Like, that's whoever comes into as a coach, as a replacement, are they going to be, as strict as Tuchel, are they going to give him six games as well? If you don't perform well those 6 games, what's going to happen to you? That comes to, to mind as well, because Graham Potter, again, for me, I think it's not the best decision. Yes, he knows a little bit more about the Premier League than the other than Pochettino, or Zidane. But for me personally, Zidane should be the man. He's able to control egos. He knows what's what's about to put, how to win a Champions League. So which is one of the key factors this league, right? This season. So and again, I go back with the Eagles. He's going to be able to control that. But, for more than that, what's going to happen? Whoever, comes as the new coach, what's going to happen? And they're going to be as strict as, they've been. Now it's going to come the January for transfer time. What are they going to get? Are they going to be able to finance the same? They're going to be able to spend as much money as they were able to do it before. I mean, those type of key points are going to come in mind in the near future.
One thing I want to say is this, Hugo and Victor. Why do we keep signing players that are not hungry to succeed compared to Liverpool and Manchester City?
Well,
we sign up for the shirts.
Now, if you look, I mean, Hugo made a huge point, right? What if Porter didn't perform well? Do you fire him?
By December, he might be gone.
Yes.
But maybe they said they want someone who will be able to stay for longer and deal with whatever ideology they are bringing.
From their perspective, if you consider the fact that this same Porter signed Billy Gilmore from Chelsea, this same Porter took Levi Colwill from Chelsea on loan, this same Porter signed Lamptey.
I forgot we had Billy.
Yes. He signed Gilmore. He wanted to sign Livramento before Livramento went to Southampton, and then he got injured, right? So if you consider the kind of player Graham Potter has used over the last few seasons, the kind of players is interested in, our academy can benefit. It could create a pathway from the development team to the senior team. And more so, player like Trossard, all right, Salcedo or Caicedo, we don't know. We did not know much about those players on this having playing for Brighton. So he has a way of finding gems. So maybe, because I don't think we will spend over 250 million in a transfer window. Again, it's not going to happen. This is the American coming in, put a huge money on the table, make a statement. I'm the big guy with the big balls. Let's go.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Well, gentlemen, I would say that it has been an uninteresting day for each and every one of us, and for the whole football world, especially. I don't know who saw this coming. I don't think anyone saw it coming. Maybe only those that made
only you, bro. Only you, coach.
I honestly thought it was a joke this morning. I woke up, I was like, is this a joke? I was like, nah, this is, April's Fools, but we're not in April. What's going on?
Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much for contributing. I mean, we can go all the nights long talking about this move, but we will see what happens in the coming days. And whosoever that comes in, let's try and support the person.
Of course,
it's all about Chelsea.
As the next coach.
I mean, I prefer Graham Potter from the three options.
Chidi?
I think Graham Potter too, because of what I've seen Brighton play.
Yeah.
Whether he controls the dressing room, that's up to him and his backroom staff. I know you want it done, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you very much again. For those watching, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you again. Have a good evening.